Hi, my name is Colbier and let's start with Ancestors Legacy. This is a real-time strategy game influenced by historical events of the Middle Ages. Ancestors Legacy combines resource management and base building with large-scale squad-based battles across vast battlefields. It is all rendered in great detail with Unreal Engine 4. You will experience medieval bloodshed and can enjoy a cinematic action camera that puts you right in the middle of the battle. People on Steam are saying that Ancestors Legacy is easy to learn and it's like chess. It involves a lot of strategy, so the more you play, the better you become. Basically, here a lot of options to crush the enemy lie in the plain sight, but only the master strategist can see them all. So the more you play, the easier the game will seem. Or not, we all have our limits and sometimes our limit is below the requirements of a victory. Blacksad. This is a gloomy game set in a New York City of the 1950s in a world of anthropomorphic animals. You will play as Blacksad, a private detective, and will have to untangle the secrets of a mysterious disappearance. This sinister case will take you to the darkest, most dismal depths of New York, where you will immerse yourself in a eerily dark adventure. Game is based on comic books, but if you don't know them, it's not a problem. It's probably even better to not have any untimely bias. People on Steam are saying that this is a very interesting game with a satisfying deduction mechanic, probably one of the best among other detective games. Although keep in mind that the game is short, it will take you about 9 hours to finish it. Other side. Here you will lead your army of female warriors to battle. Your skill in combat will decide their fate, shape their abilities and personality. So under your command, they probably just die angrily in pain and agony. Anyway, jokes aside, like in all turn-based games, here you will have to plan your moves carefully, because one wrong action can lead your party to failure. Although the game offers cool mechanics where you can sacrifice one to heal another, survivors will get stronger, ready to fight the next battle. The bad news is that the game practices permadeath, so by sacrificing warriors, you are like sacrificing them for real. And the elephant in the room is, of course, the visuals of the game. Only black, white and red color palette exists here and makes this game stand out from other similar projects. Medieval Dynasty. Here you take on a role of a young man who has fled from war and wants to take his fate in his own hands. From being alone, inexperienced and poor, he will develop into a master of many skills, a leader of community and the founder of a prosperous dynasty. Dynasty which is meant to last and prosper for generations to come. So you can create a tiny medieval North Korea for yourself and thrive, while your friends eat grass. You will defend against wild animals, hunt for food, gather resources, craft equipment, build yourself a house and become a founder of a whole village. Tough winters and unexpected events will challenge your skills and dexterity as you strive to build your own legacy. One of the coolest things for me here is the entire year cycle, with 4 seasons and realistic wildlife that really helps with the immersion. Conarium. This is a chilling Lovecraftian game that follows the gripping story of 4 scientists and their endeavor to challenge what we normally consider to be the absolute limits of nature. And no, they are not teaching a cat to roll over. That is impossible. The task is way more easier, to be honest. The game is inspired by H.P. Lovecraft's novella At the Mountains of Madness, but largely set on the original story. You'll find a plot infused with lots of secrets and Easter eggs, ominous but wonderful graphics created with Unreal Engine and multiple endings. Game has a chilling atmosphere, so be sure your mental balls are hard to crack. Although do not expect a lot of action here, this is mostly a walking simulator with a Myst-like puzzles. Curse of the Dead Gods. This game is obviously oriented for the fans of Hades, or as one commentator on Steam said, Curse of the Dead Gods plays as Hades and looks like Darkest Dungeon. Honestly, it's a fair comparison. So in this game you will seek untold riches, eternal life and divine powers. It will lead you to this accursed temple, a seemingly infinite labyrinth of bottomless pits, deadly traps and monsters. Well, the rest is self-explanatory. The game also introduces a cool mechanic of unique curses. They influence each attempt, putting a twist on every action. Although keep one thing in mind, you will have to parry a lot and that Souls-like mechanic sometimes is very annoying. Otherwise, it's a great game. 86% of reviews on Steam are positive. Divinity 2 Developer's Cut. The game includes the Ultimate Edition of Divinity 2, which is about 100 hours of gameplay, as well as the Developer Mode, which allows you to play as any unit created in the game. Really cool feature, and the price of the game is a joke. People on Steam are saying that Divinity 2 has quirky Terry Pratchett style of humor and huge replayability value. Honestly, I have read many comments stating that people play the game 3 or even more times.
But why?
I don't know, I guess it's for you to find out. But there are some sour notes in the review section section as well, stating that the game feels outdated and those reviewers are recommending to choose some other, more modern game instead. Well, it's up to you. I think this game is great. Blacktail. Here the choice is yours. Will you become the guardian of the woods or the terror nightmares are made of? You play as Yaga, a 16-year-old girl accused of witchcraft and expelled from medieval settlement. Well, I know what I would be doing after that. Definitely not helping poor folk from the aforementioned village to heal their sick cattle. No, I would rather secretly put pineapple into their potato salad. Anyway, here you will decide the fate of the land and its inhabitants and witness the impact of your decisions on your skills through an implemented morality system. Craft arrows and potions, hunt wild animals and gather resources to survive in the ominous woods. People on Steam are saying that the game feels more mature than the visuals it provides and the story is really dark and captivating. 9 Parchments. This is a cooperative action RPG game of magical mayhem from the creators of the Trine series. Here, runaway apprentice wizards seize the opportunity to complete their spellbooks by going after the lost 9 parchments. Super powerful spells meant to be wielded by the most powerful mages. So as these newbies rapidly acquire powerful new spells without learning proper safety measures, it's natural that their hasty progress results in plenty of deadly accidents. 9 Parchments combines real-time spell shooting action with usual RPG elements. Here you level up your character and collect magical loot, filling your wardrobe with zillions of wizard hats and powerful staves. People on Steam are saying that this is a super entertaining game to play with your friends. Doesn't matter imaginary or real ones. Although keep in mind that if you play with imaginary friends, you will need another pair of non-imaginary hands. Why must everything be so complicated? I don't get it. Roguebook. This is a roguelike deck builder with unique mechanics from the developers of Faeria and Richard Garfield, creator of Magic: The Gathering. He'll build a team of 2 heroes and dive into a memorable adventure like never before, or more likely like, you know, sometimes before. I would probably ignore the game, but the Roguebook's unique characters, especially various monsters, catch my attention. I'm really tired of conventional monsters, you know, like dragons or unicorns, and this game has some really nice hybrids I never seen before. So here you'll be able to choose from 6 hero pairs, and each hero has a collection of over 50 cards, a personal relic and a unique skill tree. You will choose your combo and dive into the battles where you will face over 40 bosses and enemies. Game has very positive reviews and people on Steam are saying that this is an awesome follow-up if you liked Slay the Spire. Serial Cleaner. Have you ever wanted to clean a crime scene? Yeah, I thought so, I'm not so eager as well. But this game lets us dive into this grim and, by the way, very well paid job. Maybe after playing you will reconsider your career choices. By the way, it's not some official job. Oh no, you work for the Mafia and clean crime scenes for them. See, I said that this job is well paid. A good cleaner never gets caught, so you have to make sure you get in, clean up and get out without leaving a trace of evidence for the police to find. Game features a funky 70s inspired soundtrack, real-world data to modify levels according to the current time of day in your whereabouts, full story campaign and even challenge modes. People on Steam are saying that this is simple and chill game with very unique style, although be prepared to rage a little when you will get caught right before finishing the mission. Space Marine Anniversary Edition. Long time ago, like 10 years from now, I was running a blog in Lithuanian about video games. I had about 2000 followers on Facebook and one of those followers gave me the key for Space Marine saying that I must try the game. I was really skeptical but decided to try. So I installed it in the early morning and I literally played it for 10 hours straight till I finished the game. The fun fact was that I was at work that day. Nobody noticed. Anyway, the game was really awesome, I was enjoying it very much. And yeah, it is short but really entertaining. Although be sure that you play with a gamepad, it's way more fun this way. Also, it makes no sense for this game to cost 45 euros when it's not on sale. It's more than 10 years old, what is wrong with their marketing? Anyway, with this version of the game you will get all the DLCs and other separately sold items such as armor sets, relic weapons and maps. Solasta, Crown of the Magister. Let's start with the fact that you can play Solasta for free this whole weekend. Yeah, because they released a new DLC, they want you to try the game and not pay for it. Well, for now. You'll discover the shattered world of Solasta, explore ruins and dungeons for legendary treasures, learn the truth of an age-old cataclysm and stop it from happening again. You will be able to create your own party of adventurers in the classic tabletop RPG tradition. The choices you will make while choosing various skills, traits and backstories of your heroes will reflect in their dialogue. You know, if some of them are born in Potato Saladistan, they will always be enemies with the guys who put pineapple in their potato salad, and with these characters you will dive into long-forgotten dungeons to unearth ancient artifacts. But stay watchful of light and darkness. Many dangers hide in the dark, but a light can attract monsters as well. Some enemies have dark vision, some may flee from your torch, but, you know, as I always say, the best way to light your way is with fireballs. It doesn't really matter if your enemies have dark vision or not, a fried monster is always better than a raw monster, so the game is pure treasure for a CRPG fans, and also it includes Dungeon Manager, so you can make your own stories and maps, or play some good ones created by way more talented people than you.
Hello, neighbor.
I like the style, it looks like a kid's game, but believe me, it is not. I got it on sale a few years ago and decided that, oh well, let's try this. And just a few minutes into the game, I was terrified. All the anxiety I ever had started knocking on my doors. The point of the game is to avoid your neighbor and at the same time learn about his secrets. So although it looks cute and all, your brain will start to send you signals that you are in a den of a monster and you should get out instead of trying something brave. And then your neighbor starts chasing you and you are instantly switched into a panic mode. It's a great game to play with friends or family. If you have younger kids and they have already stopped wetting their bed, this game is a great way of reversing all that to nothing. Maneater. In this game, you will not be a traditional bad guy, you will not even be a guy, you'll be a shark. In fact, you will start out as a small shark pup, where both wildlife and humans will be your enemies. This is actually an RPG game. Your goal here is to eat and become a strongest boy, and you will find plenty of food for that matter, ranging from happy fish and friendly turtles to the most delicious meal of them all, unsuspecting beach people. The game is well narrated and the humor is beautiful, but Maneater is quite short. It will take about 8 hours to complete. The Ascent. This is a solo and co-op action RPG set in a distant cyberpunk world. You will be exploring a corporate-run metropolis stretching high into the sky and filled with creatures from all over the galaxy. If you like Star Wars, Firefly or Cyberpunk 2077, it's a perfect setting for your adventures. You play as a worker enslaved by the company that owns your ass and everyone else in your district as well. They are the ultimate ass holders. But one day you are suddenly caught in a vortex of catastrophic events, so you must take up arms and embark on a new mission to find out what started it all. People on Steam are saying that the game is really beautiful and fun, but kinda riddled with bugs. Although not everyone experiences these problems, the game has a bit less than 80% of positive reviews. For some it is even the best game they have ever played. I think that is an overstretch, a real overstretch, but kinda encouraging as well. Unexplored and Unexplored 2, The Wayfarer's Legacy. First part has better gameplay and has 90% of positive reviews, but the second has way cooler visuals, although as a game it is slightly worse, with the review score being just a little below 80%. So Unexplored is the roguelite that feels like a roguelike. That's what developers are saying. An accessible yet challenging action RPG, praised for its great level generator, real-time combat and a surprising amount of content and depth. Plus here you'll find free DLC which adds even more variety. You'll explore dangerous dungeons, solve mysterious puzzles, and engage terrifying foes, big and small, in intense melee combat. Second part, called The Wayfarer's Legacy, is similar, although with more impressive visuals. But compared with the first part, it's a bit clunkier, has a fair amount of glitches and bugs, and also an insufferably long tutorial. Despite that, I think that it is a fun, underappreciated game. You can play the demo version absolutely free and check it out by yourself. It is also an amazingly light game. It will take only 2 GB of your storage cosmos, or storage space if you prefer to call it like that. Squad. Let's start with the fact that you can play Squad for free this whole weekend. This is a large-scale multiplayer first-person shooter emphasizing combat realism, true communication and team play. A wide selection of realistic faction-specific weaponry and vehicles allow you to build your own loadouts that best suit your preferred tactics. Here you'll find 10 factions, 23 maps, vehicle-based combined arms gameplay and player-constructed bases. People on Steam are saying that 50% of the time it's a running sim, the other 50% is pretty fun. And yeah, the maps are pretty huge and running is what you do here. Although the best thing about this game is Star Wars The Galactic Contention mod, which transforms the game into, you know, a Star Wars game with Star Wars guns. That is always awesome. Warhammer 40k Inquisitor Martyr. You'll become a mighty Inquisitor and carry out the Emperor's will. Choose one of the multiple classes and take part in brutal combat encounters. Embark on a huge variety of missions with your fellow agents and fight through a single-player story campaign. It is set in a haunted fortress monastery which hides a terrible secret from the past of the Inquisition. Yeah, they probably have put pineapple into potato salad. In general, this is a very nice game, but keep in mind that it is best played with a gamepad, because playing with keyboard and mouse is really not as comfortable. Although some people could argue about that, because there are many gamers in both gamepad and keyboard camps. Although let's be fair, gamepad camp is way bigger, and the gameplay, the main thing of every game, is highly addictive. It will burn tens or even hundreds of your hours even quicker than alcohol does. People on Steam are saying that this game is a no-brainer for those who like Diablo. It's basically the same, just in Warhammer universe. Ačiū, kad žiūrėjot, linkiu geros dienos ir pasimatysim kitą kartą. Iki.